Hey everyone, thanks for joining us again. This is Alec from Reddit's Hex Encounter community, joined graciously again by Dr. Bruce Geryk. Bruce, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. This is an exciting conclusion.
Yeah, and so hopefully those of you that are tuning in had seen the first part of this, where in a previous stream, Bruce and I sat down and we did the first three turns of this opening scenario here of No Retreat, kind of flexing the systems and having me just get, kind of pummeled back to Moscow here. As a summary of our game position from where we were when we left off, Bruce has had a very successful push
Yes,
center.
I am back.
Yes.
And yes, I have.
So, and he kind of got to Moscow at the end of turn three, which in the bi-monthly game turns puts that arrival in Moscow sometime in the September-October timeframe
Hmm.
in the mud before things freeze over.
Yeah, that's
Um,
sort of that's sort of as if the Germans had never gone for the right hook. Although I did take Kiev, but I don't have Dnipropetrovsk in the south, and I'm not nowhere near Kharkov.
That's right, and I'll note that in general, I feel like while I'm getting hammered here, I think that's kind of how you're supposed to feel at this stage. And looking, if those of you that review the history, um, will see that I'm probably doing poorer than the historical outcome. Certainly, am doing poorer than the historical outcome in center,
Hmm.
but doing arguably better than the historical outcome on the north and southern ends of this line.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
now, part of that might be a little bit on how the game systems probably give the German player a bit more freedom of action than the German commanders had initially. But at any rate, I feel like this is not an ahistorical result by any stretch.
Mm-mm.
But I also am bad at this, so so
Well, I think you haven't played this before, right?
that's right. This is my first play.
Yeah. So I mean, I played this game several times. The key here is that I'm going to get punished a little bit in the long winter. You're going to sort of get a counterattack. I'm going to my attacks will be shifted both in the snow um, in and in the long winter. Um, so I will have my defense. It'll be easier for you to attack me um, when you get to your turn. So I need to
Yes.
maximize my turn right now. Um, so let's see here.
Well, and really, we should be at the having completed turn three, and we've not done any of the
Right,
adjustments on turn marker. Now,
right.
before we move on into turn four, I think we were noting wanting to just, having been away from this map for a few weeks, to survey the map and just verify that we have the
Hmm.
game tracks correctly and we have VP
Yeah.
accurately recorded.
Yes, the VP we should check. So now the Germans start with, or the Axis start with 1, 2 through 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Should be 12, right? I
Yes,
believe they're
12.
12. Yes, they start with 12 on the track here, and they should go up for every event victory point and every city they take or objective. So um, I have uh, Riga is 1, Minsk is 2, Smolensk is 3, Kiev is 4, Voronezh is 5, and let's see here.
And you also down there with Second Panzer have. Actually, no, that's not in the city. Never mind.
I don't have, so I have 5. So let's see what I have here. I have, according to the, oh, so I have 5, and then I have 2 event VPs. So my total VPs, I should be sitting at 19. We had marked me for the 17 that I had, but not the 2 events. Now I'm going to lose one of those events because Pearl Harbor is happening this turn.
That's right. And do you have any VP for Moscow as a city with control? Was that one in your count?
I just get the point for Moscow. I don't believe it's an extra victory point, but it is a if I control Moscow plus any other objective, I win. So, for example, if I were to take Moscow and Sevastopol, that would be uh, that would be uh, a victory automatically.
Yep. Or Stalingrad could be another one, or
Stalingrad,
Leningrad.
yeah, Leningrad. But right now, I think it's most likely that would take Sevastopol since it's the least most likely defended. Although that it's going to be hard to get there in the snow. So so yeah, so that's there we are. So we should probably take this turn marker and just put it right there. And
All right.
so here we go. So let's start off. It's going to start in the advanced game turn marker, new game turn events. Yes, there is an event. The event is Pearl Harbor, and I lose a victory point. So we take the event VPs down by 1, and that takes me down to 18. So the fact that the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor takes me down. The war is now truly a global war. The Americans are coming in. New game turn victory. There's no the game turn. If turn 4 doesn't have anything, you have to do it at the beginning. So turn 3 has already ended if I had 20 at the end of turn 3, but that's not the case. So let's see now. So supply check. I think everybody here is in supply. So what else do we have? Okay.
So before supply, you get cards, correct?
Oh, cards. Sorry, yeah, sorry, cards. So it's card phase. So I go to my Axis hand. I have to discard down to 2. So I will discard 1, and then I will discard another 1, and then I will draw 4. 1, 2. Oops. Here's a. If this turn has a variable weather, then flip its weather marker.
Let's see.
Which it does. So this turn is going to be mud as well.
Okay, yep.
So that's actually not great for me. I was hoping to move 4. Okay, but it's also not great for you because your defense is
stifled.
Yeah, so I took 2. I gotta go 3, 4. So that's my cards. Okay. All right. That's frustrating. Okay, let's see how we can fix this. Okay, so it is now going to be, I believe, organization. So flip step, nothing. Placement, I don't have any replacements or reinforcements, nothing. Reorganization, there are no reorgs, so I can go straight to movement. So let's do this. I get one free rail move.
Mm-hmm.
So I will take, do I want to do that? No, I don't even want to do that. Ugh. Gosh, that sucks. Okay, so I'm going to move this guy into Odessa, and then I will just go to the markers. I will find Axis control. I will pull this down, and now I control Odessa, so that'll be a victory point. That takes me to 19 again. Then I will move these panzers to here, and these panzers to here. And these guys will go 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then, let's see, I can only move 3. So I will go to here. I will 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2. And I only get 1. Yeah, this is what I was afraid of. So I only get to advance 1 hex after combat.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be very painful. Okay, so I go here and here. 1, 2, 3.
Oof.
I will go 1, 2, 3 to there. I'll go 1, 2. And I will take this gentleman and put him in the rail movement box for free.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So let's see what we got here. I think that's going to be... So now I have the combat. So declare all voluntary attacks. So here are I'm going to place target markers in the following hexes. Let's see. My target. Great target. So I'd attack Dnipropetrovsk, and I attack the guy next to Kharkov. Then I attack Yaroslavl, and that is it.
Okay. And so now I have the opportunity to force involuntary attacks.
Yes, counterblow.
Counterblows. Okay. We'll go I'm interested in less disastrous results, and just you have a lot of firepower on that southern line, though.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, let's just see how this goes. I'm going to go ahead and play Russian Courage during counterblow step. Place 2 counterblow markers.
Okay.
So
Nice.
let's go ahead and get... okay, I'm sorry. So counterblow markers are cards that I play on your units, forcing them to make an attack. Is that correct?
Place them on your units,
Right.
and I have to attack them.
Right. I see. Right. So I can drop my counterblow marker, say
Yep,
here
right there, perfect. Yeah,
and
this is a great
here.
place. Mm-hmm. Exactly. You're trying to soak me off there.
Yeah. Now, in doing so, I'm going to negate my nice river
Your terrain, exactly.
terrain bonus.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's correct.
yeah. Okay. So yeah. So there.
All right. So let's see where we are. So what I'm going to do now, so you have now done your counter blows. So now we're just going to do one by one.
Yep.
Here we go. All right. I'm going to start off by taking the 11th Army, who's the guy on top there, right above he's going to counter blow the Sevastopol unit. This is a 2-to-1.
Yep.
And I play no cards. Would you like to play a card?
No cards.
Okay. So it's 2-to-1. It's going to be. This is going to be on the. This is going to be on the Axis CRT, and here is my die roll. That's a 5 on 2-to-1. Onto DR.
Yeah, that's gonna be as good as a kill there, since he has no viable retreat, right?
Yes, he has no viable retreat. So that guy, I think he goes to. Let's see which box he goes to. I cannot remember what happens when you can't actually retreat.
I don't believe it's surrendered, but.
Well, let's just make sure, because it could be, which would be quite a bonus for me. Let's see. I just go. There we go. All right. So for retreats, using the latest rules, they're from November 2016, and the answer is. When you retreat, boom.
Eliminated is the term on page 14.
Okay, so it is eliminated 10.7.1, and in 10.7.1 it says players GD both when these or units once is eliminated. Is there a choice? The owning player determines which of his units.
I think the useful piece there's most eliminated units are placed in the destroyed units box, or if it had an unsupplied marker on it at the time of elimination, it is surrendered.
Yeah, it did not. So it's just going to go to destroy.
All
Okay.
right, I'll scoot that out of the way.
Hmm. And he gets to do a 1 advance, which is it? Because it's a what do you call it?
Mud turn.
Mud turn, yeah. So the next one, this is my actual attack. So this is 14 to 3. This is going to be 4 to 1, down 1 for the city, and I get no armor bonus into a city. So it's going to be 4 to 1, down 1 is 3 to 1.
Okay.
Do you have any cards you want to play?
I do not.
Okay. So then I will go ahead on the 3 to 1 column. Ooh, a 2. Wow.
I'll take that.
Yeah. You will take it.
Hey, Bobby, thanks for checking in. Glad you could join the stream. Yeah, so that exchange result gives us each a step loss. I'll happily get rid of my southern front there.
And I'm going to have to flip a guy. And
flip a Panzer.
Yeah, here's the most important thing. I do not take Dnipropetrovsk.
Ah.
Yeah.
Whew.
So, let's do, I'm going to do Second Army, which is the mech, against reserve. That's going to be a 1 to 1.
So I'll highlight here that had I not distracted the 11th Army, that probably would have been over on the 4 to 1 column still.
Yeah.
And been a different result.
Yep, with a DR. Yep.
Yep.
Exactly. That's what the counter blows are for. See, that's people are saying, why would you give up your terrain bonus? Because of that. So we now have this is just a 1 to 1. Any cards?
No cards for me. And Bobby, to answer your question, we are playing GMT Games No Retreat, the Russian Front on Vassal.
So here's my die roll. This is a straight 1 to 1. 1. Counterattack.
All right.
Counterattack me. It would be a 1 to 2.
1 to 2, which
Hope gets for a 6.
Yeah.
Or if you rolled a 1 to 3, that would give me another shot at 1 to 1.
Right. And honestly, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'll take the long odds here. So I'll do my. I have no card play on my attack.
Yep. So 4 to 3.
Okay. So rolling.
Yep.
2. Okay. Immediate counterattack by you.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and take that because I get another shot at it. So let's do a 3 on a 1 to 1. Counter blow. So I just get a counter blow marker on my guy.
Yep. And we leave it there.
Okay. Now the other guys are. So I will just move this for a second. These guys are. That counter blow is sitting on top of 17th Army, but just to show everybody here, 17th Army is at 8 to 5, which is going to be a 3 to 2. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a card to play, which is this card.
I always forget to look. Have the discard window open. 1 second.
Okay.
All right, there we go. Okay. Heinz Guderian. Oh no, that was my card. Never mind.
Oh, and I misread a card, so my whole plan just blew up.
Oh no.
But that's okay. That's all right. I'm going to let's see. I have a 3 to 2.
Yep.
So I'm going to play this. Play during the commitment step to add 1 hex to anybody's advance. Well, let's see if I can make this one work. Do you have any cards?
No cards.
Okay, here it is. Yes,
Ooh.
That's what I wanted. At 3 to 2, a 6 is a DR. So you need to retreat.
And that's a 1 hex retreat for me, or is it a 2
2
hex?
hexes. All retreats are 2 hexes.
I don't want to be 2 hexes anymore.
No.
All right. First, we'll vacate into Kharkov, and then back into the backfield, I suppose.
Okay, so I will use that opportunity.
And now you'll get your advances.
Now I get my 1 extra advance. We'll go into there.
For another VP.
Mm-hmm. And this guy will just advance 1 hex. So I get a VP for that. So that will put me at 20. Okay, and my counterblow sitting there. Let's see what's next. Then I have an attack up here, which is I have the 3rd Panzer and the 6th Army, which is 10 against Yaroslavl, which is 2. It's 5-1. It's 4-1 for the river and 3-1 for the city.
The city, right.
So we're down to 3-1, and I'm looking at my cards. I'm going to play this play anytime. Oh, I can't do it. It's not in this phase. Okay, so I can't do it. So I'm just going to roll die. Oof, 3-1, 1. Wow.
Counterblow.
That was brutal. So what I am going to do is I'm going to play this to force the reroll of any counterblow.
Ooh.
Because that just is unacceptable. Take a 4. That's better. DR.
All right, I'm about to find the edge of the map here.
And I'll swing 6th Army up into there. Yeah, he's running. And then that gives me 21 victory points. And then I will grab an Axis control, place it on Yaroslavl, and that's it. And then it is my detraining phase. And I will bring this guy into here at near Tula. Let's see where I will want to put him. I have to put him. Oh boy. I put him there.
All right. Now, did you ever actually pass through Tula? Do you have control of that? Because that would be a city, right?
Yeah, I don't know that I
don't think you did.
Passed through Tula. I don't think I did.
Yeah.
Nope. Nothing.
Gen Chaos, thanks for checking in the chat. And I think we all would agree that were I the actual Soviet commander in this case, I would have been executed 2 or 3 weeks ago. just summarily executed, and some even more inept replacement would be.
All right, so that's what I've got.
All right.
So now it's over to you.
Yeah, I'll
same deal.
Dwell the camera here briefly down at 2nd Panzer, my big victory so far, which is actually taking a step off a Panzer army. All right, so checking out the sequence of play here, things that we got to be watching for. I'll do my cards, discarding down to 2 and draw 4. So I need to do no discards, so drawing my 4. Okay, and we'll note again that we're paying attention to which symbols we have here, noting that some symbols are useful during the first half of the game here where the German player has initiative and other cards have symbols the other way. So let me just take a look
for
here.
anything that says play immediately.
Oh, right, yep. And none of those. So, yeah, all right, that's not going to be useful. Okay, that's a thing I could do. All right. Not having a lot of options here. Let me just take real quick. Okay, this is going to be a little strange. We'll see how this works. We are currently still in the card phase. So I am going to play Scorched Earth right here by the city you're about to try and take.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just going to burn this to the ground on our way out. Markers. Let's find that Scorched Earth marker. There it is. Okay, that's a thing. All right, so this is now a marsh for all game purposes until someone who currently controls it spends two cards in the marker removal phase. Okay. All right, so that's it for card play for the moment. Supply check. All right, now we actually do have to take a look here because I think you put Central Army out, or Central Front out of supply. I'm just looking here. Most of these folks can trace supply to a city that then goes to a map edge. It's within 4. It goes on the map edge. Fine, fine, fine. No problem. Yeah, fairly certain here that Central, following the supply rules, is not within 4 of any city that he can trace supply from, nor can he like leapfrog off anyone else. So I'll go ahead and place a supply marker on, here we go, Central.
Did you place the thing there?
I will.
Yeah, his zone of control is my zones of control prevent him from getting to the south. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So he's just with and yeah. So with the movement that you did, that gets him out. So he has no zone of control, and I will be severely disadvantaged if I do anything else with him. And during the I have this turn to fix it, or else he will surrender. Correct? I believe he surrenders. So
surrender at the end of the what's it called, the
marker removal
space.
Yeah. Okay. So and that's really bad. Surrendering actually is the same as capturing a city. Surrendering is a victory point.
Yes.
So let's see here. I've done my cards. I don't believe your guys have any supply issues whatsoever. I think everyone is near enough. Just want to verify you've been taking the cities as you go, so no issues on your units. Back over to me. I will actually take some effort now in the organization step, noting that I did receive 2 reinforcements. 2 reinforcements and the strategic reserve marker. Let's see, what is this guy? Can detrain move in the Soviet movement phase. Okay, so this is a marker that I can place on a unit, I believe. We'll take a look at that here and again in a moment. But for units that I need to do something with, let's see, let me grab these guys. Just park them in the lake for the moment. Okay. And 2 destroyed units that I can place during the placement step. I hesitate just so briefly since it's a discard to do this. And I don't have a terribly large number of cards, but I kind of do need to pivot to the south here to keep that unit from getting from surrendering, burying me even deeper in the hole. And yeah, so I think these guys are both going to come back disorganized. I'll pay a card for each of them. Yep. Discard that one. Let's see. Discard this one. Okay. So both of these will get disorganized markers. And we'll have to place these as well. All right. And so, again, as a recap for folks it's been a couple weeks, We do have some restrictions on where these things can go and how they can get dropped in. The organization step here we go for placement. Excuse me. Soviet units are placed in any Soviet-controlled city or adjacent text not in an enemy zone of control. So, city or next to it, and I've got disorganized markers on these broken ones, which essentially mean they may not voluntarily attack, correct?
Right.
All right. Okay, so I think at the very least, I'm going to start bringing things in depth here. I'm going to bring Sevastopol into Sevastopol.
Yep.
I may even drop south into that marsh hex. What's the terrain effect of fighting in marsh? Is it's a column? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I have that as an option. I have all of these cities down here, Stalingrad included. Don't see a lot of action happening up there. Oh, boy, is Moscow looking pretty sad. I'm going to bring up another army. Yeah, let me do that. I'm going to bring up another army. I'm considering bringing someone in around Kalinin to try and get in between the panzers and someplace else, but with how sticky these zones of control are, I'm not going to really be able to wedge in there with how you've placed yourself.
Right.
All right. Well, for fun, let me see if I can do something here. All right, so I'll drop on that unit near Gorky. I'll drop in this unit behind Kanelin. And I'll bring in this shattered guy that's being reconstituted to help buffer the line back here just a bit. Okay. So that will be those placements. Now in the reorganization step, this is when so the next thing that I've got let's see here. So that was the organization step. Now we're doing movement. All right. Anything I can do with the line here? I think maybe. All right. Well, being bold, I'll go ahead and move Crimean there. I'll move Volkov here, which I think I have. Yeah, I shut movement points for both of those. That's open terrain. Okay. Can't really get in on the Panzer aside from that, so we'll leave that. How am I getting this guy out of dodge? Hadn't considered. I had briefly forgotten about the Central Front here, which is looking really sad and pathetic for the moment. Tell you what we can do. Bring Northwestern Front in, which is probably an awful idea. And now forming a little, maybe we can fight our way out. I'd really like to put someone on a train.
Mm.
um, let me actually put these newly reformed uh, unit I had dropped, the Southern Front in Stelliano. Let me train those.
Huh?
That way I can drop them wherever I feel I need to. Okay, so those should be the movements.
Okay.
Okay.
Now you need to declare your combats.
Voluntary combats. Amazingly, I'm actually going to do 2 of those. We're going to do a voluntary combat. Oh, well, and I'm going to have 1 involuntary combat, right? Since I didn't back the reserve up. Let me briefly consider that real quick.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing to be gained by me being here, so I will
No.
go ahead and do a disengagement.
Sure thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Good enough.
Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. So
Everybody has moved.
Yep. All right. So the target
All right.
marker on 17th, and I'll do a target marker here on the 3rd Panzer.
Okay. I will just put a counter blow right next to that.
Okay.
Uh,
I should have moved up Moscow to eat the counter blow if you gave me one.
I gave you a counter blow there.
Yeah,
so
that's
then
fine.
you're here. That's that. Okay.
It's one thing to consider that counter blow mechanic is not something you see in a lot of other games, so it's not something that's always in your thought process and setting
Yeah.
up your
Well,
movement.
you think about the soak-off attacks, and
Yeah.
they don't really. Yeah. So let's see what we've got. I have to discard a card for that, by the way. So
Yep.
Just so you know, I'm gonna discard a card for that counter blow. Do I want any other counter blows? No. Okay.
All right.
Go for it.
All right. Let's go for the big one. Okay.
What is that?
The one down by Kharkov, the Kharkov re-attack. So this should be 13 combat factors attacking 4, with a 1 column shift for the city. So 13 to 4 would be 3 to 1, shifted to 2 to 1.
But I don't have, do you play any cards?
No.
Okay, so I play this. Walter Model played the commitment step of the Soviet combat phase. Double the defense strength of all Axis units.
Excellent.
So 13 to 8 is going to be a 3 to 2, down to a 1 to 1.
Okay. So 3 to 2, rolling on 1 to 1, and something might happen. Okay. Rolling 1 to 1. That's what I was hoping for, actually. It's exactly what I was hoping for.
Very good. So we go there.
Okay.
We delete that. This is no longer a. I have to control. It's a different layer. Wait, it's control, right? Control move? No. Shift. Click, yeah, and then delete. Okay.
Yep.
Take it.
All right. Bring this guy in. At the end of my turn, he'll get his ZOC back. That'll be wonderful. All right.
That takes me down to 20 victory points.
1 gambit worked. Now let's take a look at what's probably going to be the failed gambit up here. So I got distracted into what is going to be a disastrous attack into Yaroslavl. 1 to 1 on the face of it, with a column shift for the river
and the city.
Yeah. So this is a 1 to 3. I can just not do this, right? All right.
Go ahead and hit it.
Attacking a 1 to 3. Oh, I'm glad that worked out.
But there's no terrain. It's a counter blow.
Oh, of course. So that's right. Counter blow negates all terrain. That could have been absolutely terrible. So at 1 to 1, that did you want to play a card? I'm sorry.
Yeah, X's hand.
I
No, I don't play anything.
Okay, so that roll stands at a DR.
And that DR eliminates me. So that goes to the destroyed units box. And you get to get in there.
And yeah, we'll go ahead and delete that thing again. I'll let you delete it. It's your marker.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I did that in the wrong order. Son of a gun.
Yeah, you should have done the other one.
Well, either this is now a completely not going to work thing. So at 3 to 6, this is on the
And this
face of
does
it. Yeah,
this does take this does take uh,
the terrain.
terrain.
Yeah, so
Okay,
at 3 to 6, this starts at a 1 to 2. River brings it down to a 1 to 3.
that's correct.
So no card for me.
No cards for me. We'll
Okay,
roll it.
4. Counterattack.
Okay, I'll take that. That's going to be a 6 to 3. That's 2 to 1, and it's not a counter blow. It's just a counterattack.
That's right.
So the um, river counts. So it's a 1 to 1. 1 to 1 for me is counterattack. You want to take that counterattack?
Oh, I'm sorry. 1 to 1 counterattack. This might be one of those discretion, better something something valor things. At 1 to 3, the best I can hope for is a counter blow. So yeah, we'll leave it, and I'll take my what I will consider largely to be a pretty good outcome here, which is having gotten Sixth Army destroyed. Now, if you could catch us up here on this strategic reserve marker that I've picked up.
Oh, the strategic reserve just lets you basically put somebody. It lets you entrain them, and let's see, just kind of reserve. That is very start. Place strategic on top of any one supplied Soviet unit, and then put both in the rail movement box.
I see.
And then you can return to the map at the end of any future detraining phase.
Yeah. So for the moment, I don't feel like I've got a strategic reserve. Maybe that Moscow garrison, but and I also have this another nuance here in the game with the cadre units. I do have one of those that I picked up on turn 3, and
that's when a unit gets destroyed.
Right. And if when it gets shattered or destroyed,
that is if, let's see, the cadres. Was just eliminated to fill the step loss requirement of a DD or EX result before retreat. If you couldn't retreat, then you don't get it.
Right. Okay. All right. So that should end that portion of the turn. So now what I'm looking at is, now the combat's done, we'll do removal. So recheck supply on everyone, and the one out of supply unit has found himself back in supply. So dodged a bullet there. I may choose to spend 2 cards to rebuild Dostoevsky. I will not. So let me now look at my remaining unit, which would be detraining. So where does this guy then go? And when detraining, they can be up to 2 hexes away from an supply city. Is that correct? Detrain.
3 hexes.
I wanted to say it was something like that. Rail movement, page 9.
Yes.
Yeah. 2 intervening hexes.
Adjacent, yeah. 2 intervening hexes.
Yep. Okay. Not that I would, but theoretically, they could roll, say, from the south, from Kharkov, even up here towards the back to start to form the beginning of a pocket.
Yeah, but they would get you. I would immediately cut them off.
Oh yeah, I know. That would be a terrible idea.
Yeah, they could theoretically get up there, yeah.
Yeah. While I'm considering where to drop this guy, Bobby's given us a question.
Um, Bobby, what time period are you looking for? Does it matter? Do you like a particular theater or a particular war or a particular level? Do you like tactical games, like strategic games? Give me a little bit more to work with, and I will give you my best recommendation.
Okay, I'm going to drop this guy in a little bit
Okay.
further south on the
Yeah.
Don. I just don't like that you kind of have an open line here through zones of control. Maybe that's me.
Okay.
All right, so I'll go ahead and delete these disorganized markers. Now that those come off during removal, or the yeah.
Oh, you know what I haven't been doing? What I didn't do last turn? I didn't use any of my shock markers.
Oh, how many did you have?
Three coming, but that's okay.
Your that was your new player. You're
Yeah.
spotting me 3 shock markers this
Yeah,
game.
that's all right. I'm fine with that.
Oh, actually, no, those are my markers. Yeah,
Are those yours or me? Oh, those are
those are
yours.
mine. Wait a minute.
Oh, you had three. Yeah, you're gonna get three this turn. Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll call that as
Yeah.
salt in the wound.
I
And
don't think it. I don't think it would have made any difference.
you know
I
what?
think that
I got
that the one that you were the weak one against Third Panzer would never have made it,
panned
and
out.
the
Nope.
one against Yaroslavl worked, and the other one worked just fine.
Yep, exactly. So I think rolling that back
Yeah.
doesn't do anything. But
Yeah,
yes,
you're gonna have to remember we're gonna give you three shock markers. Let's put those things in there right now.
yeah, I'll grab them. I'll grab them.
Yeah, grab three shock markers and put them in that box.
Shock. 1, 2, 3. Okay, get back on the counterattack in a useful manner here. Now, can you use these markers on another player's turn? Could I use those on your
No,
attack? No.
no,
Okay.
no, they're not for defense. They're only it's a very attack oriented game.
Yeah, quite. Okay. So that's that. Okay. So that then completes the Soviet player turn, which brings us all the way to the end and moving on to turn 5.
So here's the deal now. It is no longer a long winter,
Right.
right? But there is a special event that you can look at on turn 5. This snow weather turn, the Axis player loses 2 shifts to the left when attacking Soviet units instead of the usual 1.
Ah.
Okay,
Okay.
so I'm losing 2 shifts to the left on this turn.
But you do start to get replacements.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
So we'll start off with my cards. I draw 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Okay. So then I will supply check. Everybody's in supply. I'll take this counter blow off. Then I'm gonna say, Bobby Dodge, how about have you tried command and colors? It's actually commands and colors. Sorry, commands and colors. Nobody gets that right, but it's commands and colors. That can be there's a Napoleonic version of that. Then there's also I think the Ancients one is the best, but there's also a Napoleonic version. It's kind of tactical, but it's a little deeper level of game. I don't know. There's a lot of dice to it. So that I think that's a good one if you're just trying to move up from Euros. This is actually one that I recommend to people as if they want to get into a real hex-based war game. But I would look up the Commands and Colors series. You might if you're looking for tactical Yeah, tactical.
You know, and I would even say that you can go with the Day of Wonders World War II adaptation of that system,
Yeah,
right?
Memoir 44. Memoir
Right.
44. If you want to get a little further into that, I have some ideas as well. But what I'm going to do here, I think, is um, I am going to not take any replacements. I am going to simply, so flip step, nothing. Placement step, I have my cadre. Reorganization step, I'm going to flip anybody. Do I want to flip anybody? Yeah, heck, screw it. I'm gonna replace. I'm gonna flip. So Axe's hand. I'm going to discard that.
While Bruce is considering his choices here, Elros, thanks for checking in. Appreciate you joining the chat.
And then I'm going to discard that. Okay, so I'm flipping second Panzer because I have to. All right. So now here's my move. Let's try to do this in some kind of way. So it's winter.
Yes.
So we're going to do this. We are going to go 1, 2 into here.
Okay.
The unit outside of Tula, watch what he does. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Well, hold up. What was the 3? He moved back and forth?
Yeah, he moved to Tula.
Yep.
So that
I
he can
see.
then move back
Yeah.
out. See what he did?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Then we're going to go 1, 2. We'll do that.
Did you mark your VP for Tula?
I did not. Thank you very much for reminding me.
I ask because this might come down to a VP.
It certainly very easily could. So I'm going to move this. What do I have here? Just move that guy in. Let's see what we have. We have 9. So it's 20. Go like this. So rather than moving, so this guy that moved here is going to actually move to here. And get that guy out of the way. He's going to move here. He's going to move there. Actually, it's snow. I don't think rivers are in effect.
They are not. They do not apply a terrain effect, and they never apply a movement effect for those of you watching, which is a really interesting thing in this game versus others. Mostly because I think folks are used to thinking about it on a more operational scale, possibly. But there's absolutely no movement impact at all.
So I will back him up to Moscow. I will take him out and send him to the rail movement box. Sorry, no, I won't.
And Bobby, I would agree that I think that Vassal has a much better array of offerings than Tabletop Simulator. If you're looking to sample the buffet, Tabletop Simulator is a great experience. It's very similar to having a game on the table, but if you can get used to the eccentricities of Vassal, it's actually quite powerful. If you're interested, you can look back in my stream archive, and you can actually find the comparison that I did between Tabletop Simulator, Vassal, and my actual table for D-Day at Omaha Beach. I did a stream on that about a month ago.
Yeah, it's not even close, really, I don't think. Tabletop Simulator is just much less robust.
There's some people that swear by it, though, Bruce. There really are.
Oh, yeah. certain kinds of games, but
Yeah.
not for this kind of game. I can't imagine having to because it's really trying to mimic the idea of picking up. I
Yes.
mean, for Euros, individual pieces. There's no reason to try to pick up like if you're stacking 3 chits. Uh,
Are you saying you don't want to do OCS in Tabletop Simulator?
yeah. Elros says, only thing with Vassal is that the rules are not available. Well, Elros, the Vassal is designed for people who, at least one of the people to own the game. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not meant to be a free, you don't need to own the game. It's a way that people who own the game are able to play with each other. And I think it's even kosher for one person who owns the game to play with somebody who doesn't, because it's just the same as like if I brought the game over to Alex's place.
Yeah, that's right.
Say, hey, I got the game. But 2 people who don't have the game, who download the free PDF and play with Vassal, I think that's against the spirit of what it's really.
Well, yeah, it's against the spirit, and it's also against the license explicitly given by a number of the publishers. So, for instance, if you go onto GMT's page and you dig around in their support for these types, and they support multiple game engines, there's a lot of others that are even more archaic or bizarre than Vassal, but it all explicitly says that we expect that you may use it so long as one person has the game. And honestly, in like the spirit of the law, or whatever they want us to do here, download something, go, what is this, and experiment with it, and follow along someone's playthrough. Do that, absolutely. But do buy the game.
Yeah, I think that's a reasonable thing to do. Okay, so that is going to be my move.
All right.
And I think I am done. So I'm going to stop there. Then I'm going to declare my attacks, which is just here.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're consolidating your gains. You are... Okay, I see. So let me take a look at your hand real quick. You got 3 cards in your hand. Okay. So looking at it just looking at the point total right now, you got, if we've marked it appropriately, which of course we can recount, you got 20 of the 21 points you need to win the game.
Yep.
Any city you take is your 21st point. Or, in the case of the one I burned down, any city you rebuild with 2 cards will win you the game. So you've got that one in hand. You can maybe give yourself a margin of 1, and then I have to find a VP to win the game. And you turtled up here by Moscow. You kind of... Oh, wow, and you completely collapsed your northern front, but there's no way I get to Riga, for instance.
You can't.
Yeah. So, okay, got it. And you've got a unit and train the plug a hole if you need to. So, okay, I'm with you. Okay, let's do this.
Okay. So let's see here. I have how many would I have in here? Okay, so I only have 1 attack. It's a straight 19, 9, and 11 is 20 to 5 is 4 to 1, 3 to 1, 2 to 1, 1 to 1. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. And here goes my die roll. Ooh, not a good one.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll go ahead and let's see. What was that? 1 to 1. Yeah. So do you have a card play to effect that? That's a push, right?
No. Yeah, it's a push.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So now I'm going to spend. So that's the end of my turn. So I'm going to then spend this card and this card and flip up Nepripet. Oh, I have to detrain. Sorry, I'm detraining this guy into Voronyaz. So now I'm going to detrain. I'm going to take Dnipropetrovsk, and it is now my city. So I will put a control marker on it, and that gives me my 21st victory point.
And you're just going to leave me with this garbage board to try and come up with my 1 VP back.
So you need a VP back. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Oh boy. Okay. While I'm considering my
Uh-huh.
puzzle, which I may not be able to solve, Bobby, to answer your question on how folks communicate, I will say that probably the most predominant way that wargamers find each other to set up a vassal game is there are some fantastic coordination threads on Board Game Geek.
Yeah.
Where folks, there's a geek list that gets posted every month, and someone posts, "Hey, I'm looking to play no retreat. I'm looking to do a
Yeah.
live play, or I'm looking to do a play by email," and that's going to be your best bet probably to
Yeah.
find.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yep. There are other communities. There are discords. GMT now has a discord of their own. The Reddit community that's hosting the stream right now, Hex Encounter, we have a Discord server and the subreddit /r// Hex Encounter where people can try and link up. But for return on your money, go to Board Game Geek, the War Game sub forums, look for the geek list. That is the I want to play thread. What's it called, Bruce? Do you remember? There's some name to it.
I don't recall.
Yeah. But that's the other thing to remember is that actually we can log all of these plays and
Right.
send them by email, which Bruce and I have done on a couple of games. And
Yep.
asynchronous is the way to go for folks with busy lives. So,
Yep. Yep.
all right. Well,
Alrighty.
poop. How? For those of you, again, watching, wondering why I'm just staring at my board petrified, zones of control here are just absolutely sticky. They just are punishing. Really, honestly, my best bet, if I can do it, is to take Moscow.
Yep. That's really the only thing you have going here.
Yeah, I know. I'm just looking at that and going, I can't get enough hex frontage. Maybe, you know what? Oh God, you just got so much here. 16th Army and 4th Panzer. Okay, yeah, you can keep that. All right. Well, first of all, let me take a look at my cards. So let me start the sequence of play and get this going right.
So you got to draw 4 cards.
Yep. All right. Come on. 4th card. Let's go. Weird. My draw card. Are we out of deck? What do we have here?
Oh, I think we're out of deck.
Yep, we're out of deck. I need another card. Do we shuffle up?
Yep. Reshuffle. So we go to card decks, and we go reshuffle deck, and go ahead.
All right, so I get one more card. Yep, there we go. All right, got it. All right, let's see what options these will give me. All right, let's see here. All of these are still playable. Oh, play immediately, and then draw a new one. General Mud.
Yeah.
If it's variable weather, flip it to Mud.
Which? This turn or next turn?
This turn.
Oh.
Interesting.
It's not variable
Okay.
weather, though. It's always snow.
Okay, got it. Okay.
So it's just...
Okay. I'm going to play this card immediately, which allows me to draw 2, discarding 1, and keeping the other.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to discard this card, Hitler's Interference.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so the advantage that I do have is I now have a handful of cards and 3 shock markers, although really there's only going to be 1 combat probably.
Right.
Okay, so I've done my cards. We're all still in supply. You kind of buttoned up a little bit. You left 6th Army as destroyed. And I've got nothing new coming my way. And I still cannot retrain. So, organization is done for me, I believe. So okay, so as a snow turn, I still have
I
the
should have left. I should have left Moscow out. I should have pushed. I should have left Moscow where he was, but that's okay.
yeah.
You come get him.
Well, you've given me a sporting chance here at
Hmm.
Moscow, so we'll see what I can do here. Let's see here. Motorized going into forest is 2 movement points. I'll go
Yep.
ahead and do that. Move
Hmm.
up here. Move Crimean up.
Hmm.
I will move. Hmm. Interesting. Yaroslavl up.
Hmm.
Trying to get some good frontage. You're probably gonna. How many cards do you have in your hand?
One.
One. Okay, so there's gonna be one counter blow or something else coming my way. Um, I'm going to train Southwest Army.
Okay.
Look back at my hand. I got it. Hmm. Okay, well, you know what? We're going to do it.
Okay.
I'm going to move here,
Hmm.
here. Actually, let me undo that training of Southwest. Yeah, I don't need to do that.
Okay. Go ahead.
1,
Yep.
2,
Hmm.
3, 4. If you're saying I've got a chance, I'll take it. All right. Okay. Um, I'm going to play Red Orchestra, examine the Axis card hand, and discard any one card from it.
Oh, very nice. Very
I was like,
nice.
let's just get rid of the ambiguity.
Yeah, because you're gonna have. Yeah, very good. All right. That was very. That was a very nice move.
You only got one in your hand. I'll just, trust it to dice and not your card play.
Okay. Well, I would have used it for the counter blow. I can't place a counter blow now.
Right. Well, I was more worried about what if it wasn't a counter blow. But, okay. All right, there's pretty much no way I can get anyone else onto third Panzer.
Mm-hmm. Nope.
Um, and no way unless I do something completely. No, no way to get any more. Okay, so we'll attack here with only one marker because that would be
Okay.
silly.
Put the other one there. Okay, you're
Yeah.
done.
Okay, and let me grab my shock markers. Start sharing those so I remember to use them.
Yep.
All right.
Okie doke.
All right. So,
What you got?
yeah, we'll go into combat resolution now. Examine.
Which one are you doing first?
I'm examining my card hand, my cards in my hand. I'm going to do since I'm really controlling this. I'll go ahead and do Russia. I'm sorry, Moscow first.
Okay.
Um,
So you've got 10 to 6 is 3 to 2. Up one for the city, or up one for the shock, down one for the city. So it's 3 to 2.
okay, and furthermore, I'm going to apply. Yeah, let's just try it. No mercy.
What's that?
So,
You got to flip it so I can see it,
oh, of course. Um, there it
and you
is.
play it into play discard.
Yeah. I just wanted so you could see it. All right.
Oh,
Or
I see it better in the discard pile. It's actually too small here. Just
okay.
hit.
Yeah, no worries.
Right there. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this causes an additional step loss to both
Okay.
sides.
That's good.
After everything else has been resolved.
Okay.
Okay, so this was 3 to 2. We decided.
3 to 2.
All right. Rolling my die. Big two.
2.
Big two. It was a big two.
It's push.
With the step loss on both sides.
Additional step loss. Yes, exactly. No matter what happens, it's a step loss. Okay, so that's very good. So delete. Oops. Delete. So flip that guy.
Which was not enough to get him out of dodge. Okay. Looking down here with the disaster I'm about to attack with 16th Army and 4th Panzer.
7 and 8 is 15. to 8, so that's barely a 3-2. It's the same thing.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's give it a go. 3-2.
Last die roll. Here we go.
Yeah.
3-2. Oh, boom.
Oh.
Oh, counterattack. I am not taking that.
No, you're just gonna sit there and sit on the VP. Okay.
There and there, yeah. So what we can do, so let's just go through and make sure we're not in a where we are here. So
to help with math, hide pieces does not hide control markers.
Correct. That's
Yeah.
right. So let's see what we have. I have 12 plus Riga is 13, Minsk is 14, Smolensk is 15, Moscow is 16, Tula is 17, Kiev is 18, Voronezh is 19, Dnipropetrovsk is 20, and Odessa is 21.
Okay, 21-0. Well, 21 VP. That was good.
Yeah.
So, of course, my feeling playing as the Russian player, and with my first time playing the game, is that I'm sucking and I'm just getting hammered.
Right.
Which is like, that's how you're supposed to feel, right? Like, I don't really suck, but I was getting hammered.
Yeah, you barely lost. I mean, that's the whole point. And I think that's the thing you could. I mean, you played fine, and it came down. I mean, anytime any game comes down to the last die roll of the game, I mean, that means it was close. Because if you had knocked me out of either Moscow or Voronezh, then you would have won. So, I mean, it's basically a tie. I mean, I won because I had that one victory point and you didn't.
Right.
But just think about the game now in how if the Germans are playing the campaign, right now they get the reinforcements and they push on, but now to win the game it's going to be, what's the turn 6 victory point is 23, so I can't get the automatic. Let's just say we're playing the campaign.
Sure.
Turn 6 is I need 23 points, but I only have 21, and the point at which you check is the beginning of the turn. So we would after this turn move to turn 6. I don't have 23. After the Summer 42 campaign, I need 26. And then turn 12 I get 27, and then I'm really kind of out of gas. But
yeah,
the game is meant to push you towards the brink, and then have you come back from the brink, and that's what makes it exciting, and that's what makes the initiative and momentum shift really cool, right? There would be a German Dreiecknach-Osten high tide marker, and then we would flip over, and you would have to try to beat that before 1945, so you could try to take the game into Germany. So it would then turn into the opposite, where you were pushing and I was just getting hammered.
Right.
So I think that's the neat thing about this game, is just how well it does two sides, each getting a lot of attacking. It's very satisfying. The combat results table is very attack oriented. It's very little penalty for attacking. I mean, even you were making those low odds attacks, but it didn't really hurt you. I mean, it just didn't get anything. The thing that you have to really be careful of is you make a low odds attack and you give. That's the thing I was thinking about with Kharkov. I had 20 points, and I was thinking possibly, if I had enough cards, I would have put 2 counter blows down on the units that were adjacent to Kharkov, forcing you to attack me, hoping to get a counterattack that I could have then done at like 4-1, because I would not have had or higher odds, because I would have not had the terrain for the city.
Yeah.
So you can do that sometimes if you have somebody that's defending something weakly. You put up some counter blows, hope that they roll a counterattack on you, and then you get to attack at high odds. So that's something I would have thought about. But yeah, that's it's designed to put both sides sort of up against it at various times, and I think that it really does it does that swing of the campaign really, really well. That at a very low cost, right? At the cost for, you don't have that many units, right? I mean, there are other games that do this very well, but you have to spend hours and hours and hours just to get to this point, where I think we basically did it in, I think, we're streaming, so we're going slower. But, We only took like maybe 3 hours or
Yeah.
4 hours to play. So,
Well, and I have to say, the strength and the elegance of this game really is the low counter density. And I think I made a remark in the first half of the stream where I was thinking that it feels the decisions, half of the game on the Russian side is where do I drop in this replacement? Where do I
right.
need to plug the hole?
Yep.
But it's not
Yep.
just where do I need to plug the hole, it's where do I need to exert zone of control and influence. And so it feels like I'm playing Go. It feels like I'm playing actually something far more abstract than a war game. And so it's very approachable. Not a lot of units. The choices are small, defined, and pretty clear, but it takes some experience with the system. And for those of you that are new to wargaming and approaching it, I see that we have a couple of people in the chat with us today that had discovered us and don't know a lot about the hobby. Games about the Eastern Front, games about Barbarossa, games about Case Blue and attacking Stalingrad. All of those that are designed well have that great dynamic that we've been discussing, where the Soviet player feels like they are just backpedaling the entire time and that they don't have enough to stop it, while simultaneously the German player feels that I'm not going to get there in time.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, the German players all never once feels like, oh, this is going to be easy. You're just constantly thinking, oh, am I gonna? I'm so stretched, so thin. I'm driving so hard. I'm pushed so far. Can I hold on to these gains? And if you don't end the campaign with that automatic victory, then it all just comes peeling back. And I played a game against a good friend of mine. He came to visit. We played 21 turns of it face to face, and then we finished the last 7 turns vassal. That took us an entire day, by the way.
Yeah.
And then it took us a couple more vassal sessions to finish those 7 turns. But it really was. I really pushed. Actually, he was a German. He pushed really hard. And then I just steamrollered back and just didn't quite get to the victory conditions. And once again, we finished the game, and I needed one more hex, and I was adjacent to Vienna, and I needed to take Vienna, and I didn't. So I think the game can be quite tight. There are very few ways in which you're going to really, hose yourself so that you just have no chance of coming back. I mean, there are ways of playing carefully and keeping yourself out of trouble. So I think it's there are, I shouldn't say that. There is on the as long as you maintain a line of zones of control. That's the one thing. New players, if you leave a hole in the line, because you see how sticky the zones of control are, and you move, and then as soon as you hit an enemy zone of control, you stop. But if you let somebody through so that they can like rampage in the rear, it doesn't take much to open that hole and just make everything come collapsing down. So as long as you keep your zones of control and keep things contained, you've got a fighting chance. If you make a mistake and something, or a very clever card play, I had one that I almost won the game with, where my opponent had stopped me right in front of Berlin, but then I had another card I think it was called Wave Assaults, which allowed me to attack after I had one attack after all of my advances. So I advanced up to Berlin. He thought that was it, and then I got one more attack. Unfortunately, that attack failed, but that's the kind of thing that you can get stung by. He still beat me, so it was kind of funny.
All right. So what's next on your table?
My table. What's next on my table? Boy, that's a good question. I've got the other no retreats coming. I've got French, Polish, and Italy coming, courtesy of GMT's sale. I do have the North Africa. North Africa retreat. No retreat is very, very interesting. It takes it takes North Africa and splits it into 4 maps, and you only play on 1 map at a time. I think it's genius. Mm-hmm. I'm just not sure. There's some other things about it that I think when my friend and I played it, we thought that it might be broken. I can't remember why though. I'm really, really would love to play downtown, but I can tell you what's next on my table. We're going to play Time of Crisis tomorrow here at the local brew pub for their game night, and so that's the next thing on a table. It won't be my table; it'll be the brew pub's table. But we've got a game lined up for tomorrow night.
Well, we'll have to have downtown on our queue
Yes.
to get at in a stream,
For
because
sure.
that's just a great title.
Yeah.
For me, I picked up a couple titles, new releases recently by Hollenspiel.
Hmm.
And one of the ones that I'm very excited about is NATO. What's the name of that? NATO Air Commander.
Yes,
Um,
yes, yes. Is that out now?
it's out. I have it in my living room. And
Is
so,
it? It's solitaire, right?
yes, it's a solitaire system where the player plays the person organizing effort of air assets
Mm,
in a fictional,
right.
Soviets starting World War III in Europe type scenario. And so the counters represent kind of wing level units. So here's an F-16 wing or an A-10 wing or things like that. And we're going to allocate, resolve this OCA mission before I do this deed mission, before I do this CAS mission, etc.
I see. Okay.
So, and then the system drives the Soviet progression of the ground forces, and the resolution of the air efforts rolls in the effect of the Soviet air push. So I'm looking to get a little bit of time playing that over the weekend, and then my next scheduled stream for those of you that are hoping to tune in should be 8 o'clock next Wednesday, where I will be hopefully streaming NATO Allied Air Commander.
Oh, well, then I will
So
be watching that. It'll be very interesting.
excellent. Well, we'll have to decide what we have coming up next
Yeah.
once we get
Let's
settled
let.
back in. I've also got
Okay.
Silver Bayonet rules that
Oh,
I've been
yes,
flipping
we should
through.
do that. We should. I've played that. We should do that. That week, I could find a way to get.
You
Let me
know,
review the rules, and you get back to me. We'll make this one.
I'd say let's do it, and I say maybe we reach out to Mitch Land and see if he would want to ref or provide color
Yeah,
commentary.
yeah, he could play color commentary. Yeah, let's see if he wants to do that. That'd be fun. Yeah, I'd really enjoy that. Okay, cool.
All right. Well, hey Bruce, thanks for taking the time to finish up the game. As
Yeah,
always, really enjoyed it.
that was great. Thank you very much, and
Yeah.
thanks to everybody for watching. Thanks. Just keep dropping by. More war games should be streamed. It's the way of the future.
Thank you very much. And thank you all for joining. Follow the conversation at Space Rumsfeld for Bruce on Twitter and the various places, boardgamespace.com. You can find me on Board Game Geek, Twitter as AlecMG. You can also find me on reddit.com/r/hex encounter. So with that, good night, Bruce. Good night, everyone.
Good night.